Okay, let's continue our discussion, brothers and sisters. This is last part of our discussion topic, no, regarding remedies on assessments. So, whenever the BIR will issue an assessment, tapos late ka, natural, may corresponding increments yan. We call the increments surcharge, interest, and compromise penalty. We call of this collectively additions to the tax. Okay. Ang surcharge, general rule na rate is 25%. Kailan applicable yan? Hindi ka nag-file ng return, hindi ka rin nagbayad ng buwis. Meron sa 25% surcharge yan. Okay, itong wrong venue filing, wala na ito ngayon. Okay, wala nang surcharge to under ease of paying tax law. When is a wrong venue applicable? Example, you are registered in Quezon City and then you filed the return and paid the tax in Makati. Literal na wrong venue yan. Merong 25% surcharge yan. Dati. Tapos EFPS filer ka. Nagpa-file ka using EBIR forms. So I hope you still remember those two concepts that I taught you during sa general principles natin, fiscal adequacy. Anong meron dyan? Wrong venue din yon. So ngayon, ang wrong venue is no longer subject to 25% surcharge. Okay, ngayon, kapag hindi ka nagbayad ng tax, FLD fund, tingnan mo to, notice of assessment, FLD fund yan. Di ba sabi, calling for the payment. Pag hindi ka nagbayad within that particular period, magdadagdagan ng 25% surcharge yung mga tax na ina-assess sa'yo. Okay? Tapos ito naman mga kapatid, let me just clarify number 4, failure to pay the full or part of the amount of tax shown on any return required to be filed or the full amount of tax, etc. So halimbawa, ito yung tax due. Ang dapat mong bayaran, 1 million. Ang tax paid, binayaran mo is 700,000. So meron kang deficiency na tax na 300,000. Ang tanong, itong 300,000 na yan, subject ba sa 25% surcharge? Ang sagot, it depends. It depends on what? When you filed the original return, kailan mo siya i-file? Kapag i-file mo yan, within the prescripted period, hindi ka late, walang surcharge kapag iibabayaran mo na to. Pero kapag ang original return mo ay filed late, yung 300,000 na yan, merong 25% surcharge. Okay, remember, the subsequent filing is called amended return. Now, ang 50% surcharge applicable to naman kapag merong willful neglect, nananadya ka, talagang ayaw mo mag-file. In case of fraud or falsity. Okay? Tandaan mo ang fraud, mga kapatid, kailangan patunayan ang intent to evade the payment of the tax. Okay, ano meron dito? There is a prima facie evidence of fraud kapag merong under-declaration by more than 30% ng income. Kapag ang deductions naman bloated, exceeding 30%, no, pineke mo ang mga invoices. Anong meron diyan? Evidence of fraud din yan. Yung 30% na yan. Okay, kapag mga non-registered, non-issuance of invoice, mga ano rin yan, na mga fraud din yan. By the way, wala na tayong Pogo ngayon. Okay, now let's go to by the way, yung kapag micro and small taxpayer, 10% lang tayo ha. Micro and small taxpayer and this under ease of paying tax law, 10% lang. Let's go to the imposable surcharge. Okay? Compute the imposable surcharge. Halimbawa, ABC Corp nagbenta ng lupa sa Quezon City, capital asset. Nagbayad ng capital gains tax, 60,000. Okay? Quezon City yung lupa. Sa Makati nagbayad. Aba, okay. Ang under EOPT, wala nang surcharge. Bakit? Wrong venue ang tawag natin dito, di ba? Wrong venue. Wala nang wrong venue ngayon. Pero dati, 25% surcharge ang imposable. Okay, ito naman, ABC Corp filed VAT return paying basic tax of 100,000. During audit ng Independent CPA, nakita na kulang ng 100,000. Nagamit ng return. Oh, 'di ba? Kapag kulang ang binayaran sa original return filed, anong meron? Tignan mo muna natin. Kailan ba nag-file ng original return? If the original return is filed on time, walang surcharge imposable on the additional 100,000. Eh sir, paano kung filed late yan? About 25%. Pero tandaan mo, kapag micro and small, 10% lang. Micro and small taxpayer, 10%. Okay? Dito naman tayo, EFPS filer. Nag-file siya ng EBIR forms. Okay? Ginamit. Bida-bida ito. So ngayon, under EOPT, wala nang surcharge. Old rule, wrong venue yan. Bakit? EFPS ka dapat, EBIR forms ka. Unless merong advisory from the BIR. Okay, tingnan natin to. ABC Corp is an EFPS filer. Merong problem sa connectivity. So si BIR nag-issue ng advisory. O pwede na raw kayong gumamit ng EBIR forms. Gumamit ng EBIR forms ngayon in accordance with the advisory. Nagbayad ng 100,000. Meron ba penalty? Aba, wala. Bakit? Authorized siya to file the return using the alternative mode. Okay, another example, number 5. Recanor is required to pay 100,000 basic income tax. Yung accountant na duling, instead of 100,000, 10,000 lang ang binayaran. If he will amend the return within the prescriptive period and pay the tax, walang surcharge kung within the prescriptive period yan. Hindi pa late. Okay? Dito naman tayo, required to pay 100,000 basic income tax. Nagkamali, naduling, 10,000 lang binayaran. Paano i-amend after the prescriptive period? Imposable surcharge is, it depends. Okay, kung ang original return is filed on time, no imposable surcharge. Kapag yan ay filed late, surcharge is 25%. Pero kapag micro or small, 10% lang yan. Okay? BR discovered through third-party information. Merong under declaration ng income by 50%. Aba, more than 30% yan. Eh, di, ibig sabihin, may fraud yan. O, magkano ang imposable surcharge? 50%. Okay? Under declaration, more than 30% eh. So, 500,000 yan. Kahit micro or small, 50% yan. Fraud eh. Tandaan mo ha, whether micro or small, medium or large taxpayer, 50% ang surcharge kapag fraud. Dito naman tayo, Nicanor submitted ng affidavit to BIR attesting na hindi raw nag-i-issue ng invoice ang mga to at saka peke yung mga ini-issue nila. Nalaman ngayon ni BIR na totoo pala. So ngayon, merong hindi binayaran na 1 million. Fraud ito. Fraud. Di kung fraud yan, ano yan? 50% surcharge. Okay? Number 9. Si BIR during tax mapping activities. Ito yung nagpupunta sa mga office. Tinitignan kung nag-register ba si BIR. So, nag-register sa BIR yung negosyo, nag-issue ba ng invoice, meron bang books yan. So, during tax mapping operations, the BIR discovered that ABC Corp intentionally nananadya, hindi nag-register. Aba, kung intentionally yan, fraud yan. Okay, nalaman merong hindi binayaran na 1 million. Ano tawag dyan? Fraud, 50% yan. Walang micro or small dyan. Lahat 50% kapag mandaraya. Okay, next. BIR discovered during audit. During audit, ibig sabihin may LOA yan. Nadalawa yung kanyang mga sets ng invoice. Mandaraya. BIR, after investigation, kung nalaman, 1 million ang hindi binayaran. Meron ma-surcharge yan of fraud. 50% yan, whether micro or small. Okay? Very easy. Dito naman tayo. BIR discovered through third-party information. Ibig sabihin, may nagsumbong na o kaya nakuha na ng impormasyon na kabila, no? That ABC Corp has under-declared its income by 50%. 30% lang yung threshold eh. Talagang nag-under-declare to, mandaraya to, nalaman after audit, ibig sabihin may LOA na kulang ng 1 million. Fraud yan, 50% ang imposable. Easy. Okay? So, yung interest naman, mga kapatid, ang rule, general rule na rate, 12%. Kapag micro and small, 6% tayo. Okay? So, ayan, 50% of the 12% is imposable to micro and small taxpayers. Ang interest, dalawa. May tinatawag tayong deficiency interest, may tinatawag tayong delinquency interest. Okay, anong pagkakaiba? Ang delinquent na to. Nag-file ka ng return, yung tax di mo binayaran. Di ka nagbayad ng buwis kahit na there is no return required to be filed. Okay? Pagkatapos pinagbabayad ka sa FLD fund, hindi ka nagbayad. Yung interest doon, delinquency na yung tawag after. Ang deficiency interest, simple lang to. Nasa FLD fund to. Yung yung interest imposable in FLD fund is called deficiency interest. Kaya nga siya deficiency tax. So yung interest doon, deficiency interest ang tawag. Kapag hindi deficiency interest yan, delinquency interest na yan. Example, magpa-file tayo dapat ng income tax return. 1 million ang babayaran. Hindi natin binayaran. Delinquent na yon. Kung delinquent yon, edi yung interest nun, delinquent interest din. Okay? So, this illustration provided in the revenue regulations. Okay? So, tingnan natin. In-assess ng deficiency tax 1 million. Exclusive of interest and surcharge daw. The tax liability remained unpaid despite the lapse of the June 30. Okay? Deadline in the notice and demand. Ang notice and demand yan, ibig sabihin FLD fund yan. Nagbayad siya. In-assess siya, pag sabi sa FLD fund, uy, magbayad ka June 30, 2020. Hindi siya nagbayad. Nagbayad siya February 10, 2021. Baka walang pera. O tanong, compute the following. Magkano yung imposable surcharge, etc., etc. Ayan yan. Okay. Nakalagay naman dito yan. Very simple lang yan. So, kung computean tayo ni BIR ng 1 million, magdadagdag siya ng 25% surcharge. Okay. So, yung 25% surcharge na to, mga kapatid, galing ito sa revenue regulation ha. Pero again, yung clarification natin, kapag ang original return is filed on time, walang surcharge yan. Okay? Kapag late na, tapos inassess tayo, may surcharge yan. So, ngayon, i-assume na lang natin to. No? Merong interest 25%, interest 12% yan. So, total amount due. Nasa FLD fund to ha, FLD fund yan. Ito hanggang babayaran daw June 30, 2020. Ngayon, hindi siya nagbayad. Magdadagdag ng delinquency interest ngayon. So, ayan ang total delinquency. February 10, 1.498. Okay, so ngayon, tinatanong tayo magkano yung imposable surcharge? Ayan, 25%. Deficiency interest, ito yan. Galing yan sa FLD fund. Total increments, ayan, 395 yan. Ang increments natin, surcharge, interest, at saka compromise penalty ha. Pero yung compromise penalty ngayon, separately assessed yan. Magkano yung total amount due? Ayun yan. Okay? Tapos, delinquency interest, eto yan. Delinquent na siya. Kapag hindi ka nagbayad, doon sa date na nakalagay sa FLD fund, delinquent na yan. So ngayon, total payable by February 10 is 1.5 million. Okay? There's also another illustration no, na effect on amendment. Very simple lang to. Nag-file ng income tax return ng taxable year 2020, April 10. Very good siya, maaga. Nagbayad ng 500,000. Yung external auditor nalaman, nung mag-audit siya, okay, nalaman na ang taxable income merong hindi na-declare, resulting to a tax due of 600,000. So ngayon, the company amended the ITR on June 2. Magkano yung total na babayaran? Okay, ang total babayaran dapat 600,000. Ang original return, ililes natin yan. So, ang deficiency na tinatawag, 100,000. Deficiency yan. So, ngayon, kailan final ang original return? April 10. Within the prescriptive period. Aba, edi walang surcharge. Tapos merong interest. Tapos merong compromise penalty na makikita mo ito sa Revenue Memorandum Order 7/2015. Okay? So, ito na yung total amount payable. Okay? So, effect on amendment yan ha. O, ngayon, XYZ filed its return sa 2020, May 15. Late siya ng 1 month. April 15 kasi ang deadline yan 2021 eh. Okay? Nagbayad siya ng 400,000. Exclusive of penalties daw. So, kapag penalties, surcharge, interest, compromise penalty yan. On June 15, na-issue siya ng LOA. or all internal revenue taxes. Nakita ni BIR, deficiency tax of 75,000, kulang ang binayaran niya. So, ang due niyan, January 10. Sa assessment notice, ibig sabihin yan, FLD pa niyan, assessment notice. Kaya nga final assessment notice, showing total deficiency tax, assuming the penalty, okay. Magkano raw babayaran? So, ang tax due nung in-audit, 475. Ang income tax paid, 400,000. So, meron tayong deficiency na tinatawag na 75,000. Tanong, yung original return, filed on time ba? Hindi, late. Kung late, ibig sabihin, yung additional deficiency tax, meron 25% surcharge. Okay, tapos mag-i-interest tayo. So, yung compromise penalty, separately indicated yan sa tunay na buhay. So, yan ang total penalties natin. Ito yung example ng tax table under RMO 7 2015. Okay? Ayan ang mga nature of violation. Ito yung mga amount of compromise. So, kung wala kang libro, titignan yung gross sales. Ayun, titignan yung gross sales. Tapos, ayan ang basis. So, halimbawa, 11 million tayo. Ang bracket natin, nandyan tayo. Exceeding 10 million but not exceeding 20 million. So, ang compromise penalty, 20,000 siya. Okay, so parang ganyan yung example lang na compromise penalty. Okay?